December 26, 1996. A holiday morning that should have been filled with wrapping paper and warm cocoa instead erupted in horror. At 5:52 a.m., Patsy Ramsey dialed 911, her voice frantic. Her 6-year-old daughter, JonBenét, was missing. On the stairs, she discovered a strange ransom note. Rambling, emotional, demanding exactly $118,000, the precise figure of John Ramsey's Christmas bonus. But the mystery would become a nightmare. 8 hours later, John Ramsey found JonBenét's body in the basement, wrapped in a white blanket, duct tape over her mouth, nylon cord around her neck. The scene was chilling, and the investigation that followed would become one of America's most notorious unsolved cases. JonBenét wasn't just a child beauty queen. She became the unwilling face of a media spectacle that still grips the world nearly 3 decades later. Behind the pageant crowns and sparkling dresses stood the Ramsey family. John, a successful software executive; Patsy, a proud mother and former Miss West Virginia; and Burke, the quiet, wide-eyed 9-year-old brother. They had returned home from a friend's Christmas party on the night of December 25th. By 9:15 p.m., JonBenét was asleep in her bed, or so they claimed. Hours later, her life was over, and the story of what happened in that home would spiral into legend. The ransom note itself was bizarre. 2.5 pages long, written in jagged handwriting on paper from the family's kitchen pad, with a Sharpie that also came from inside the home. It warned, in block capitals, "Do not call the police or we will kill her," then veered into melodramatic threats and oddly specific demands. No prints except Patsy's. No signs of forced entry. No footprints in the snow outside. Whoever took JonBenét, if anyone did, had either been invited or was already inside. When police arrived, they found the Ramsey home in post-holiday chaos. Wrapping paper everywhere, partially eaten toast on the table, a broken window in the basement, a suitcase beneath it. But what shocked everyone was that JonBenét's body wasn't discovered for more than 7 hours, inside a windowless basement room just steps from where officers had walked. The autopsy would reveal 2 causes of death: strangulation by garrote and blunt force trauma to the skull. But there was one small, almost mundane detail that would become central to the mystery: pineapple. Undigested pineapple was found in JonBenét's stomach, indicating she'd eaten it less than 2 hours before death. On the kitchen table, investigators found a bowl of fresh pineapple with a silver spoon. Patsy said she didn't serve it. John didn't either. Burke claimed he never saw JonBenét after bedtime. But Patsy's fingerprint was on the bowl. Some reports suggest Burke's fingerprint was as well. JonBenét's were not. Investigators speculated that she may have woken during the night, come downstairs, and eaten pineapple, possibly with Burke. Did a sibling quarrel escalate? Was a Maglite flashlight, later found wiped clean on the counter, used in a sudden burst of anger? It matched the shape of the skull fracture almost perfectly. This led to what became known as the family theory. JonBenét died in a tragic accident, and her parents staged the ransom note and scene to protect Burke. A theory made infamous by CBS's documentary The Case of, which resulted in Burke filing a $750 million defamation suit. But not everyone agrees. Retired homicide detective Lou Smith, hired to review the case, believed firmly in the intruder theory. He pointed to that broken basement window, the suitcase below it, and unknown male DNA found on JonBenét's underwear, fingernails, and long johns. A boot print in the basement didn't match any known family member. There were circular marks on JonBenét's body consistent with a stun gun. Smith argued this was a break-in by someone who knew the layout of the house. Yet the ransom note, handwritten inside, with insider knowledge, raises new questions. Would an intruder really sit down for over 20 minutes to draft a long letter, using the family's notepad? And why demand an amount matching John's bonus? That number wasn't public knowledge. Forensic linguists like James Fitzgerald noted strange misspellings and pronoun shifts in the note, suggesting intentional deception. So which is it? An intruder that vanished without a trace? Or a family cover-up cloaked in grief? The most unsettling theory is that both stories might be partially true, that JonBenét did wake for pineapple, and someone she knew, or didn't, entered the picture. For years, suspicion swung like a pendulum. The Ramseys were vilified, the media frenzy consumed, them. Burke grew up in the crosshairs of national speculation. And yet, in 2008, Boulder's DA formally cleared the Ramsey family based on new touch DNA evidence. Traces found on JonBenét's clothing that excluded John, Patsy, and Burke. Case closed? Not quite. Independent forensic experts later warned that the DNA might be composite, meaning multiple contributors, possibly contamination from manufacturing. Touch DNA is fragile. A few skin cells, a sneeze, a fingerprint wiped. And in this case, too many samples were improperly handled. In 2016, Boulder County reopened the investigation to apply new DNA testing techniques. And by 2023, a cold case review team made up of FBI agents, genetic genealogists, and forensic experts digitized the full case file and made dozens of recommendations. John Ramsey, now 80, pushed hard for retesting of key items, including the ransom note and pineapple bowl, using investigative genetic genealogy, the same tool that cracked the Golden State Killer case. As of late 2024, Colorado authorities remain publicly optimistic. The database is growing. DNA science is evolving, and the truth may be closer than ever. But one thing hasn't changed: the pineapple bowl. That white ceramic bowl, sitting quietly on the Ramseys' kitchen table, may hold more secrets than anything else in the case. JonBenét's autopsy says she ate pineapple shortly before she died. The bowl matches the pieces, but her fingerprints aren't there. Only Burke's, only Patsy's, and a flashlight that may have delivered the fatal blow. Wiped clean, no prints at all. The Ramsey story only works if JonBenét stayed asleep. The intruder theory only works if someone knew the house. But that bowl doesn't lie, and it doesn't forget. 28 years later, the question remains: who killed JonBenét Ramsey? Was it her brother in a moment of rage? Her parents in a cover-up? Or a predator who walked in and walked away? Could it have been all of the above? Could she have woken up at the wrong time, seen something, someone, and paid the ultimate price? The truth may still be buried under years of mistakes, misdirection, and myth. But justice demands we keep looking. Because JonBenét never got to blow out 7 candles. She never opened that next present, never danced again in a pageant gown. Instead, her story became a cautionary tale, a cultural obsession, a mirror reflecting our darkest fears, that evil can hide behind smiling faces, that justice can falter under pressure, and that sometimes the smallest clues hold the biggest answers. So what do you believe? Was it the family? Was it an intruder? Or was it something else entirely? One bowl of pineapple, one missing hour, one child lost forever, but maybe, just maybe, not forgotten.